my soul. I'm diving in, get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of life, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. Everything I've ever done, everything I've ever seen, everything I've lost or won, everything I've ever dreamed has brought me here to the present moment, here to a new beginning here, and I'm seeing life so clearly now. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in, get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. 'Cause here I go, deeper, deeper, deeper than I've ever been before. Here I go, closer, closer, closer to my sacred source. Here I go, deeper, deeper, deeper than I've ever been before. Here I go, closer, closer, closer to my sacred source. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in, get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. Get ready, my soul.
You ready? Please join me for our opening treatment, which is our word for affirmative prayer. So we take a deep breath into this sacred and holy moment, knowing that we are rooted in the absolute truth of spirit, that our souls are aligned with the one power and presence, for each soul is an emanation of the power and presence of God. And so, in this moment, we allow all of the divine qualities of Source to move through our being, informing us of our truth, enlivening us to this glorious life. We open our hearts, and together we allow the love of God and the peace of God and the joy of God to move through us as we open as that channel for divine energy. And we know that that energy connects with the energy of each one here, joining us in this divine, sacred community that we call Center for Spiritual Living Morristown. Knowing that this Sunday celebration is blessed, the music and the message, and that we listen so closely, not only to the words that are spoken, but that which is underneath the words. Spirit moving through everything that we say, everything that we do, every action that we take. For we are the vessels, the vehicles, and the instruments of the divine. And so let's own that today. Let's allow ourselves to be that fully today. For it is always there, it is always who we are. And it is in claiming it, recognizing it, realizing it completely and fully that we become it in every interaction, in every word spoken, in every touch given, in every morsel of delicious Italian food eaten, in every bit of laughter, in every smile. And so I just feel the immense gratitude for this community, for this teaching, for all of those who are here today, all of those that are leading us today. And as I release this word, I know with absolute conviction that it returns to us full in this moment, in glorious, beautiful, magnificent ways. And so for this and so much more, we say, thank you, God, and so it is. Amen. Good morning. So fun to see people I haven't seen in a while, and new people. And I welcome everybody to Center for Spiritual Living Morristown, a vibrant community where love, joy, and inclusivity are at the heart of everything that we do. Here we honor the unique journey of every soul, offering a place of healing, growth, and celebration. Together we create an atmosphere of openness and love where every person is seen, valued, and accepted, and appreciated, just as they are. I'm Reverend Janice Valera. It is my honor to be the minister here at Center for Spiritual Living in Morristown, and I thank you for joining us, whether you are here in person or watching the live stream or checking this out at a later time. We are just so happy that you are with us. If this is your first time, and I know we have people who are here for the first time, we welcome you. We are always grateful to our members who bring their friends, because we love to meet everybody and share with everybody our beautiful community. And if you haven't yet done so, you are welcome to take a free book on your first visit from the bookshelf over there, and get a welcome packet from our welcoming team, which you probably did on the way in, but they're there if you didn't already get them. And please sign up in the back. We have a guest book that you can sign up, and we also we have a constant contact newsletter that goes out once a week. It is our main form of communication, so if you're not getting it, you're missing out, and you don't want to miss out. There's a sign-up sheet in the back. Please sign that. You can visit us at our website too, which is cslmorristown.org. So it's always a joy to welcome back our musician, Eileen Angel, who sings like an angel, and we all heard that. Thank you. And directly after our celebration today, she has wonderful things to share with you. She's written books, she has her CDs, she has bookmarks, she has gifts. So just come and visit her and support her. We're so glad that she's here. We want that she's part of our community now. So that's right after service. She'll be available here before you go in for the yummy Italian food. You know, it will be there. And I'm very happy to welcome back, and it's been a while. He hasn't been with us in a while because he's running things at CSL Princeton, but you know, he's here today. John Heron, practitioner extraordinaire. Most of you know him. He's our speaker today, and his topic is Listen Beneath the Noise. That's his topic today. And it just is part of our theme for 2026, which is open at the top. You got it. Okay. So now it's time to move into our Namaste practice, and we know Namaste means the divinity within me, recognizes and honors the divinity within you. When I am in that place, I love when people say it along. Thank you, Grayson. When I am in that place in me, and you are in that place in you, there is only one of us. And John is going to talk about peace today. So let's recognize peace in each other and just pass along some peace this morning. I always think in my Catholic days, peace be with you and with you too. We don't have to do that, but it's what comes to mind for me. So pass along peace in any way that works for you in your namaste. We're going to move into our guided meditation for the morning. So I invite you to become comfortable in your chair. Allow your feet to rest gently on the floor. Let your hands relax in whatever position they end up in. And if it feels comfortable and you haven't yet done so, please close your eyes so you turn your sight within. And let's take a slow, deep breath in and gently release it. Again, breathing in and receiving the breath as a gift. And breathing out and letting go of whatever you have been carrying. There's nowhere you need to go right now. Nothing you need to figure out. Nothing you need to fix. For these next few moments, simply allow yourself to be here, present, available to this moment. And perhaps as you settle into this sacred pause, you might begin to notice some inner noise. The noise of things unfinished. Conversations replaying in the mind. Maybe there's some concerns about tomorrow or memories from yesterday. Perhaps you might even notice inner noise that asks, what should I do? What if I make the wrong choice? What does this all mean? Actually, sharing my own inner noise, you might have your own. Just notice it. Just notice it. You don't have to push any of it away. You don't have to silence the noise by force. Simply notice it and breathe. Allow the breath to just move it out of your awareness so you can be fully present here. Because beneath the surface of every wave, every thought, there is a deeper stillness. Just like beneath the changing weather, the earth remains. Beneath all of the movement of thought, there is something within you that is not confused. There is a presence, a quiet wisdom, a deep and abiding peace. Ernest Holmes wrote, "Speak peace unto confusion, and your peace will heal that confusion." So perhaps today we do not need to solve every confusion. Perhaps we begin somewhat simpler. We speak peace. So silently now, let yourself say, "Peace, be still." Again, peace, be still. not as a command to the world, but as a loving invitation to your own being. Peace. Be still. And as you breathe, imagine these words are gently settling into every part of you, especially into the places where you may be holding tension. Peace. Be still. Into the places where you may have been searching for answers. Peace. Be still. Into the places where the future feels uncertain. Peace. Be still. Now I invite you to bring your attention gently to the center of your chest. Not searching for anything, not demanding anything, simply listening. Listen beneath the noise. And perhaps you discover that silence is not empty. Perhaps silence is full of presence, full of possibility, full of the quiet intelligence of life itself. And there may still be questions. There may still be circumstances that are unclear. But clarity does not always arrive as an explanation. Sometimes clarity comes as a feeling, a softening, a knowing, or even the slightest sense of the next step. Or simply the realization that you do not need to know the entire path in order to take the first faithful step. So take another deep, slow breath in. And as you breathe out, imagine releasing the need to have everything figured out. Let the mind rest. Let the heart open. And simply listen. Perhaps there is a word that wants to arise within you today. Perhaps it is peace, or perhaps it's trust. Perhaps it's courage. Perhaps it's love. Perhaps there are no words at all. Whatever comes, let it be enough. And now imagine yourself standing in a place of openness, a place where your eyes are clear, where your heart is available, and where your arms are open to life. And you may not see everything exactly as someone else sees it. You may not understand every perspective, but you can become willing to look again. To remember that what we see may depend in part upon where we stand. And perhaps greater clarity begins when we become willing to stand in a new place. A place of compassion, a place of curiosity, a place of love. A place where we listen not only to our thoughts, but of the deeper wisdom of our heart. So let's silently affirm together, I am willing to see with new eyes. I am willing to listen with an open heart. There is wisdom within me greater than confusion. There is peace within me that cannot be disturbed. And now simply rest in that. Feel the breath moving through you. Feel yourself supported by the chair once again, by the floor, by this community, and by life itself. For the same infinite presence that moves through the stars and space is moving through you now. You don't have to create that presence. You only have to become available to it. And perhaps this is what it means to listen beneath the noise. So as we prepare to return our awareness to this room, I invite you to carry this spaciousness with you, not because the world will suddenly become quiet, but because you can remember where to listen. You can pause, you can breathe, you can return to the presence with it. And from that deeper place, perhaps you can see a little more clearly. Perhaps you can love a little more openly and trust your heart even after all that it has been through and all that it has known. So in just a moment, we're going to move into the next piece of music. And as we do, allow the music to become a continuation of the meditation. And so as we open our eyes and open our hearts, let us receive this beautiful invitation to see our lives and our world in color.
What you find depends on what you look for, and what you see depends on where you stand. I finally saw that my flaws and my imperfections are not who I am, not all that I am. I'm gonna lay that burden down. Gonna let go of that now. Wanna live with my eyes and arms open. Trust my heart like it's never been broken. Love is bright as the sky, pain outside of the lines, living bright neon color in color. What if I just decide that I am worthy? That it's okay to ask for and have what I really want. And I could believe that my dreams are there for the taking. They'd be mine for a song. They were mine all along. I'm gonna lay that it's never been broken. Love is white as the sky, being outside of the lights, living bright neon color. Wanna live with my eyes and arms open, trust my heart like it's never been broken. Love is white as the sky, pain outside of the lights, live the rest of my life in color, in color.
Thank you, Eileen.
Oh, that's one, I'm sorry.
Wrong one.
I know.
So, there are no accidents. That's something we hear about. I don't know if I always believe it, but today, this is true. Did you know that you are infinite living blessing? Did you know that? Yeah, I know it. And if you don't know it, you actually do, you just don't know that you know it yet. And you know how I know it? Because I don't know if Reverend Janice knows, but the subject of my talk is that quote that you put in your meditation. Yeah, speak peace into confusion, and your peace will heal that confusion. A few months ago, I became aware of a book by Ernest Holmes, who was our founder, that I wasn't familiar with. It's called Your Invisible Power. And it's interesting, it's different than most of his other books. And I found this quote in there, and you know how sometimes you read a book, and there's a quote, and it catches you, and you can't let go of it, and you don't quite understand it, but you know there's something there. And that was my reaction to that quote. Speak peace into confusion, and your peace will heal that confusion. Because I'm guessing that you think of things pretty much like I do. We live in a confusing world. And we, as people who have a center of spirit in our lives, we probably all think there's got to be something here that will speak into that confusion, that will help us to find peace. Now, the second half of that statement in the book is this. There's a vast difference between believing in a principle and using it. To believe in and understand a principle is merely preliminary to the use of such a principle, right? The basic practice in our teaching is spiritual mind treatment or affirmative prayer, right? And probably most of you have some familiarity with that. How do we do that? Because I look at the world, sometimes I get up in the morning and my own personal things going on, and then I happen to look at something and, you know, trying to avoid the news is very hard nowadays. It's confusing. How do I use this teaching, these things that we know, to speak peace into confusion? So I began to do some research, looking into other books of Ernest Holmes and things like that. And then I thought, what do other spiritual teachings tell us about this question of speaking peace into confusion? And I found some stories. And so I want to share 3 stories today that I found that I think really illumine this question. So the first one is a story about the founder of Hasidic Judaism, Rabbi Israel ben Eliezer, who's called the Baal Shem Tov. Some of you may have heard of him. The Baal Shem Tov means the good or holy master of the name. Now he taught, when a person is confused, confusion itself is a garment of the king. He means that confusion is not a mistake. It's a mask the divine wears to invite you deeper. That's why it catches our attention, right? We're not just confused floating in the air. I don't know about you, but I realize I'm confused. I don't know where to look and what to do. It's a garment of the king. It's a spirit saying, hey, look here. There's a truth that wants to be revealed. Now, a disciple once asked the Baal Shem Tov, why does God send me people who disturb me? Yeah, none of you ever asked that question. Why are there so many idiots in the world? So the Baal Shem Tov replied with a story. I was once traveling with my friend Moshe. We had walked far and we were very tired, and we came to an inn and we decided to stop because we needed to stop. We opened the door and found the innkeeper shouting. He was furious, slamming doors, cursing his luck. Moshe wanted to run away, but I told him, stay. Listen beneath the noise. Overcoming his fear of the innkeeper, Moshe sat down and listened deeply to the innkeeper's complaints. That was when he heard something else. He realized that the innkeeper was terrified. His child was sick. He was drowning in worry. And so I said to him, the anger is only a shell. Inside it was a spark of fear, longing to be comforted. When you meet a disturbance, ask, what spark is crying out beneath this? So take a minute now. Think of something in your life that's not what you want it to be, something that is confusing. What do you hear when you listen beneath the noise? Because there's a spark in there that's calling to you and asking you to recognize the healing that is present as spirit in you. This is a practice you may want to take with you because it's something that we can actually do in our lives. Really stop. See what that spark is. Ernest Holmes taught us not to look at the confusion, but look through the confusion. The question is, what truth is trying to reveal itself? What truth is calling out through the confusion? For those of us who are practitioners, we're taught when someone comes and asks a question, can you treat for this? No, there's a truth that's trying to reveal itself. My responsibility, all our responsibilities as spiritually focused people, is to listen for how Spirit is calling us. What truth is calling out? So here's the second story. There was once a young Apache brave who felt a stirring inside. Yeah, he was a teenager, he felt a stirring. A restlessness that no comfort could soothe. The elders told him, the inner wind is calling you. When the inner wind calls, you must go into the wilderness. There you will meet someone who will teach you the truth. So he went. And for the first day, he walked with confidence. He followed the river. He followed the sun, all the familiar signs. But on the second day, the sky clouded over. The river forked. The trees grew dense and strange. Every direction looked the same. So he tried to retrace his steps, but the forest followed the path behind him. It swallowed it. Panic rose in his chest. I'm lost, he shouted. And in his fear, he shouted to the sky, "Spirits, help me! I don't know where I am." And then he heard a voice. He heard a wind moving through the branches as if the tree was talking to him. It said, "You are not lost. You are being emptied." "But I don't know what to do," he said. The wind replied, "Good. If you knew, you would only repeat what you have already done. Confusion is the place where the old knowing dies." The wind continued. When the mind cannot find the way, the heart begins to listen. Stay here. Let the forest rearrange you. So he stayed, and he listened to the rustling leaves, the distant water, the pulse of the earth beneath him. Hours passed, maybe days, he didn't know. Then, prompted by something within, he stood and walked, not toward anything he recognized, but toward something that felt like a quiet pull. He reached a clearing he had never seen before, yet somehow knew. In the center was a pool of still water. He looked into it, expecting to see his own reflection. Instead, he saw the one who would emerge from his confusion, a self he had not yet grown into. The wind spoke one last time. "You were never meant to find the old path. You were meant to become someone who could walk a new path." And with that, the young brave understood. He had not been lost. He had found the person who answered his question, and it was himself. And here's the last story, and it's a true story, and it happened in 1991. A man named Michael Weiser was a cantor in a synagogue. The cantor is the one who sings the prayers and leads the congregation in prayer, because in Jewish services there's a lot of music and a lot of singing. Michael and his wife Julie had just moved their family to Lincoln, Nebraska to serve a new community. So there they are in their new house, unpacking their boxes, and stuff is being delivered that they shipped ahead of time, and it's a new house, you know. And then the phone calls start. First, they're making plans. These packages are arriving and all this stuff, and among the packages are things that are unfamiliar. And he opens the first one, and it's filled with hate literature. Anti-Semitic pamphlets, neo-Nazi flyers, and then the phone calls start. "You'll be sorry you ever moved to Nebraska," the message says. "Your days are numbered." So Michael Weiser did a little bit of searching, a little Googling, a little bit of asking around. The calls are coming from Larry Trapp, who is the Grand Dragon of the Nebraska Ku Klux Klan. Trapp also operates a local hate hotline, broadcasting recorded anti-Black and anti-Semitic messages to anyone who dials in. He has spent more than 20 years building a life around organized hatred and has threatened multiple minority communities across Nebraska. Most people in Michael Weiser's position would call the police or lock the doors or move and ask the synagogue, "You have to put me in a different place," or whatever, or they would go quiet and hope it stops. But Michael Weiser called Larry Trapp back. He left a message on Trapp's answering machine. "Larry, I just wanted you to know that you must be a very unhappy man. There's a lot of love out here for you, if you want it." And then a few days later, he called again. Another message. "Larry, why do you have to live this way? It doesn't have to be like this." No response. Weiser calls again and again. Over the next 3 weeks, he leaves message after message. Not accusations, not arguments, just a human voice on the other end of the line refusing to be an enemy. Speaking peace into confusion. And one day, Larry Trapp picks up the phone, and he is furious. And he tells Weiser to stop calling. And he uses language designed to end the conversation through shock. But Weiser had found out some things about Larry, and so he calmly said, "I know you're very sick, Larry. I thought maybe you needed a ride to the doctor sometime." Long pause. "How do you know I'm sick?" By this point, Weiser had learned that Larry Trapp is 44 years old. He has diabetes so severe that both his legs have been amputated. He's going blind from the same disease. He lives completely alone in a small apartment in Lincoln, Nebraska. He cannot drive. He rarely leaves his apartment. He has almost no one in his life, just the network of hate that has given him purpose and identity for more than 2 decades. He's not a powerful figure behind a fortress wall. He's a sick, dying man alone in a dirty apartment. And no one in the world is offering him anything except the ideology that told him his loneliness was somebody else's fault. So Michael Weiser saw this and decided that it matters. He saw the spark, he heard the spark, and he responded. He and Julie show up at Trapp's door, unannounced, bringing a homemade dinner. Trapp opens the door and sees a Jewish man and his wife standing in the hallway with food. And he's like totally frozen, so they just walk in. The apartment walls are covered in KKK materials, swastika flags, and neo-Nazi literature. The Weisers just sit down. They don't debate him. They don't argue doctrine or history. They share a meal with the man who told them that their days were numbered. And they treat him like a human being who still has time left. And they talk to him. And they talk. Now, nobody has approached him for years in any way like this. And so he begins to engage with them in conversation. And the conversation goes on. And it gets deeper. And Larry begins to cry. And he cannot stop. Remember, this is a true story. And it goes on for several hours. And before the evening end, Larry has admitted to the Weisers that he really wants out of all this stuff, but he doesn't know how to do it. He has nothing else and no one else. And then he asks them to help him take all those awful things off of his walls. And the next day, he calls his KKK contacts and resigns. He's done. One act of true kindness, one act of speaking peace into confusion, maybe the only one Larry had ever experienced, and he was done. So over the next several months, Larry Trapp converted to Judaism. True story. He met individually with members of the minority communities he had threatened and asked each of them for forgiveness. He was welcomed into the Weisers synagogue by a congregation he once would have treated as enemies. And then his health collapses. The Weisers move him into their home. They care for him. They stay with him. Larry Trapp died in September 1992, less than 1 year after that first dinner. He died in a Jewish home, tended by a Jewish family, after spending his final months trying to undo 20 years of harm, one conversation at a time. Weiser was asked many times why he did it. His answer never changed. He saw a suffering man underneath the hatred, and he thought someone had to recognize that suffering and help. Speak peace into confusion, and your peace will heal that confusion. Your peace will heal that confusion. And if you think that these are just words in a book, Ernest Holmes tells us clearly, practice this, and your confusion will be gone. And I'll tell you the same thing that I told Princeton. I gave this talk in Princeton also. Why do we come here every Sunday morning? Because I see a lot of familiar faces here. This congregation is like a second family to me. I love being here. What if our reason for being here, for coming, is to be the place where people come to experience that peace? Because we are the people who know how to speak peace into confusion. Most of us know what spiritual mind treatment is, affirmative prayer, and whether we do it as a regular practice or we just know the concepts behind it and all of that. Are we doing it? Are we taking those concepts and making them part of our lives, our daily lives? When you see the confusion that the world is offering us, do you stop and say, but there's a deeper truth? There's a silence behind the noise. In those moments, do you make that choice? And I know, because I have the same choice to make, right? It's sometimes a struggle. But as we do it, that truth that lives within us fully surfaces, lifts us up, supports us, shows us the way. If you don't know how to do that, that's what this center is for. You have practitioners here. You have Reverend Janice. You can ask me. Learn how to do that. Start doing it at whatever level you understand. Just do it. Speak peace into confusion. I assure you that if you make this practice a daily part of your life, you will see a change in your consciousness, and therefore a change in the conditions of your world. And if you don't think that's the truth, if you think I'm exaggerating, I challenge you. All of us who come to one of these centers, for years we've been coming, are we actually using the practice? And I challenge you to join me, because I do practice this. I do it every day. Treat for peace. Pray for peace. Whatever works for you. Don't worry about getting the words right. It is not about the words. Let's each of us become a center of peace and light, an oasis in a world of confusion. Do it. Do it every day. If you don't think that we are healing the world by doing that, let me tell you, we are. We now, here today, are the presence of the divine, of spirit, of whatever you want to call it. We are the presence of peace. Spend some time doing your spiritual practice. Speak peace into confusion. Thank you so much.
Some will tell you that you're crazy. Some will say to play it safe. They'll fill your head with doubts and maybe forced to debate. And the higher that you dare to rise, the more some try to pull you down. And the light that's meant to shine so bright will shine on everyone around. So take the high road. You gotta take the high road. Take the high road. There comes a point in everyone's life when you know what you know, and that voice will not be silenced when it points which way to go. Even with no guarantee, you still take that leap of faith in a goodness that you cannot see, and you trust it anyway. And take the high road. You gotta take the high road. Take the high road. And we live to fight another day, and we rise more than we fall. And we face our demons, come what may, because we know that we are called to take the high road. You gotta take the high road. Take the high road. I will walk with you if you walk with me. Take the high road. I will walk with you if you walk with me. Take the high road. Yeah. Oh, take the high road.
And thank you, John. What a powerful talk. Great lessons, great stories. And not did we benefited from John's wisdom, but also John's an actor and he directs community theater. So, I mean, it was just such a perfect presentation. Thank you. Yeah, so it's time now to share our abundance. Oh, it's over here. So we share our abundance in many ways here. We have such amazing volunteers and people who give and people who bring food on Sundays and just bring your presence every time you're here in any way. I'm going to pass the basket because we also share our resources in this way. And in the back there are QR codes. We accept PayPal and Venmo and Zelle now. So if you want to share that way, many of you do automatic giving. It just comes out automatically, and there's forms in the back if you ever want to set that up. But right now, we just want to be so grateful for the abundance that flows so easily. And so just repeat after me. Divine love consecrates my gift. It goes forth to heal, prosper, and bless. It returns to me multiplied abundantly. As I share my good, I accept greater good. And so it is. Thank you. So some announcements. Today, as I mentioned, Eileen will be signing books. Her latest book is Caregiving for Your Parents. Another one is How to Calm the Hell Down and Be Happy. It's great. And she has great music here, a lot of originals, like I said, that we hear on Sundays. So please visit with her before you go off to enjoy our Italian social hour. And I'm grateful for everybody who brought in their Italian favorites to share. an after social hour. Our very own Eileen Gantz is going to give a free beginner's lesson in the Italian language. Eileen lived for years in Italy and fell in love with the people and the customs and the language, and so just to join her. She's been wanting to do this for so long. We're so grateful that you're providing that today. So we hope you can join. It's going to be in here, so after social hour, around 1-ish. Sorry. We could eat that long. It's Italian food. She'll let you know when it's happening. Okay. On August 31st, there's going to be a special reunion of the very first book club, when the book club read What the Heck is Self-Love Anyway? Everyone's going to, if you want to come, if you read the book, we're going to talk about the positive effects that reading the book had on your life. So that's going to happen here at 6 o'clock, so in the social art room on the 31st. And then the next book that's being led and organized by Kathy Ranka is The Universal Human by Gary Zukav. I read it this summer. It's sensational. And that's going to start on Monday, September 14th from 6 to 7:30. There is a sign-up sheet in the social hour room, and Kathy's here today if you have any questions about that. That's going to be on Mondays. Also, our next woman-to-woman luncheon is happening on Thursday, September 24th at noon. Everybody brings a dish, and Kathy's also organizing that so you can speak to her if you have questions, and there was a sign-up sheet for that as well in the social hour room. I want to thank Valerie White for leading our meditations in August on Wednesdays. Thank you, Valerie. We have one more left. They are on Zoom at from 10 to 10:30. There's flyers in the back and information for that. The marketing action for August. Look at the basket. There's nothing in it. Let's fill the basket, because the marketing team is asking, what would your elevator speech be on why you attend Center for Spiritual Living Morristown? How does the center add meaning to your life? And we want this feedback so that we can use it for further marketing kind of campaigns and put in, different materials that we want to generate in social media. So in the back, this information is there along with papers, and you can fill it out and put it in that basket. Thank you. There's one Science of Mind magazine left. I'm just going to say it's free. So whoever goes back there first, yeah, all right? That's what we're doing today. So thank you so much for your attention. Thank you again, John and Eileen, for being here. I'm going to invite John up. He's going to do our closing treatment, and then we have our closing song.
So I'll just say before I start, you are the treatment. You are the presence of the divine here today. And so in that divine presence, this is the truth that I know for CSL Morristown, for each one participating in CSL Morristown. I know that the divine as peace is present in, as, and through everything, and therefore is present in, as, and through each person participating here today, whether online or physically here. And I know that that peace dissolves confusion. And so I declare that any consciousness of confusion is now released, vanished, gone. What is present for each one and for all is the consciousness of that higher truth of peace. And I know that each one is receiving that consciousness and sharing it with themselves, with the people around them, and with the world. And I know that this congregation is blessed with that peace, expanding in consciousness every moment of every day. And so in the presence of that peace, in the presence of that infinite living blessing, I'm so grateful to know this truth. And I release it to that which has already said yes, because that's what the law does. It is done. I know it is done. And together we say, and so it is.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
Thank you again for being here. Thank you, Ellen. Thank you, John. Next week, Tony Hamilton, practitioner from CSL North Jersey, will be here. Andrew Dunn will be here. I hope all of you will be here. John is available for Treatment Express, and Lori's here. They're going to be doing it in the back today, Treatment Express, because Aileen is going to be up here. So enjoy your day. Have fun eating Italian food. Abbondanza. Say it.